This is a full walkthrough tour of all the public spaces aboard the MSC Seashore. This video is going to quickly cover the ship's offerings, but if you want a more on-the-ground look into what the ship is actually like, click on the channel to watch our full vlog aboard the cruise ship and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my traveling guides. Starting at the top of the ship is the Long Island Pool, which is the ship's main pool with the most space for swimming and lounging, along with 2 hot tubs. This is also the place where staff will put on a variety of different events, like this time where they were having a bartender competition, or the time where they hosted their White Night event out here. It's also located at the back of the ship, so it's nice to relax out here by watching the wake. Keep in mind that since this is the main pool, that also means it's the most crowded. Right upstairs is the Horizon Bar, a bar meant to be accessible from the pool. Continuing towards the middle of the ship is the Pirates Cove Aqua Park, a water park with activities like water slides, pools with fun machines, a suspended rope bridge, and just a general fun family-friendly vibe. It's also right next to the basketball court, if that's more your thing. Behind the water park is Top 19, but we're not a part of that super cool exclusive club, so we're gonna move on. Next to the water park is the Hall of Games, which is this ship's arcade. They've got a bunch of the typical arcade options, as well as a Formula Racing simulator. Keep in mind that you do have to pay a little bit extra for these games. We didn't spend any time in here, but there were always kids in here, so it seems popular enough. If the main pool is too crowded, then we recommend the Jungle Pool, another swimming option with a retractable roof in case of bad weather. The pool itself is small, but they do have 2 hot tubs in here, and a bunch of recreational games like ping pong or foosball. The nature-themed aesthetic of the pool makes this a really good spot to relax in. Downstairs is the Jungle Beach Bar, a great space to grab a drink or even some gelato, which, by the way, is an additional cost. This is also where Do Re Mi Land is located, the place you're gonna drop your kids so that you can enjoy your fun adult cruise. The rest of this floor is the super exclusive yacht club, but we're too poor for that. Next is the Marketplace, which is the buffet aboard the Seashore. This place is huge, and the food options change every single day for every single meal. While things like snacks, finger foods, and pizza are going to be options every single day, there's also going to be a rotating assortment of ethnic foods. Every time you go back to the buffet, there's always going to be a new dish waiting for you that wasn't there before. They also have a carving station that will change its meat every day, as well as specialty customizable foods like pastas or congee. They are also open pretty late into the night to help you with your post-nightclub cravings. Their dessert options also change frequently, and they do have a soft-serve ice cream machine available at any time. MSC is an Italian company, and they have a big reputation for having really good pizza. And yes, it's true, their pizza is as good as their reputation says, so definitely pick up a slice or 4 when you're on board. Towards the back of the ship is another bar called the Sky Bar, which is a really good place to get some liquid courage right next to the Bridge of Sighs, which is an amazing glass floor walkway that lets you look down multiple floors down to the infinity pool. Be sure to bring your friend that's afraid of heights here. Past all of the cabin floors, you get the Chef's Court restaurants, which are all of the specialty dining restaurants you can go to for an additional charge. Kaito Teppanyaki is their hibachi-like restaurant, Butcher's Cut is the steakhouse, Kaito Sushi is their revolving sushi bar where the sushi comes to you, and Ocean Key is a specialty seafood restaurant. There's also another bar nearby, the Cocktail Bar, as well as the Wine Cellar where you can book wine tastings. Next is the Uptown Lounge, a more low-key lounge that often has live music meant to drink and relax with, as well as dance lessons or different trivia events. This is a great space to enjoy the nightlife of the ship other than loud party atmospheres. Next is my personal favorite spot on the ship, the adults-only infinity pool. This is a beautiful spot to spend time in, and this area really isn't meant for swimming, but rather relaxing while enjoying the breeze and the view of the wake at the back of the ship. When your ship leaves a port of call, make it a point to be here, because you get a beautiful view of you departing into the open ocean. Right next to the infinity pool is one of 2 Venchi gelato bars on board, where they have many different flavors of gelato to cool you off. Keep in mind that these are at an additional cost, but it is cheap enough that I think it's worth it. Next is the Infinity Hot Tub, a larger hot tub than what you'll find at other places on board, but when we went, it was almost always overcrowded, so we really didn't get to enjoy it. Next is the sports bar, which is, you know, a sports bar. They have one huge screen for the whole bar to watch, but also a bunch of smaller screens, and the coolest part of this space is they even have these little alcoves where you can watch the game with your group. When we went, we really enjoyed the space, but we did think it was weird that we couldn't change a channel, especially since the Summer Olympics was happening and none of the screens were showing it. Next is the Brooklyn Cafe, a space to get more drinks, but it's really meant to be a more low-key place to relax. At night, it basically becomes a jazz bar, so this is a great place to get away from the more party-centric spots on the ship. One of the connecting spaces on the ship is their Liberty Plaza or Times Square themed space, which is another area where they host events and a place where you can do some jewelry shopping. They also have a barbershop on board, so I guess that's a thing you can do. You are a much braver man than I am if you decide to get a fade on a rocking boat. Closer to the back is a spa where you can book massages and other spa treatments. Just be sure to schedule early because it books up really quickly. Right next to it is the gym. The gym is very clean and very modern, with a ton of options should you ever feel the need to shed off some of that buffet weight. Back towards the center of the ship is the MSC shop, a gift shop dedicated to all the MSC merch you could possibly want. Spanning multiple floors is the main atrium, but this tour is going floor by floor, so I'll talk about this more when I get to the bottom of the atrium. Another specialty dining restaurant is Ola Cantina, and while we didn't eat here, we were definitely intrigued by the $18 all-you-can-eat option, and we did hear really good things about it from all the other passengers on board. There's also a champagne and wine bar nearby, but we rarely actually saw anybody here. Nearby are all the different main dining rooms, or MDRs. When you book with MSC, you will be randomly assigned a dinner time at one of these MDRs, and although they're different locations, they all have the same menu. This, alongside the buffet, are the complimentary dining options available on the ship, but the food in the MDR is way better than anything in the buffet. We went to our MDR almost every night because the menu offering sounded amazing. Be sure to watch our full vlog to see all the food that's available. On the way to the nightclub is this really cool Hall of Mirrors, a great spot if you're looking to take photos, and they also have this random hot air balloon photo op, if that's your thing. Le Cabaret Rouge is where you'll find the nightclub. They'll often have family events in here throughout the day, like karaoke, but once nighttime hits, it's advertised as an 18+ only space, but not once throughout our week-long cruise did we ever see that actually being enforced, so there were tons of kids in a room with free-flowing booze. It got to the point that we saw multiple adult cruise-goers leave every night because the club space would eventually get taken over by rowdy teenagers. Come on, MSC. Next is their signature casino, a huge space for people to get their gambling fix. It's very open, and you often have to walk through here to get to other spaces on the ship. At the far end of the ship is the Madison Theater, where you're gonna get most of your entertainment. During the day, they'll do things like bingo or welcome events, but during the night, they'll do things like talent shows, musical numbers, or even a live magician. On the bottom floor of the Times Square section we saw earlier, they'll sometimes host events like trivia or Name That Tune, and it's right next to a bunch of duty-free shopping spaces. Earlier, we saw the second Vinci location, but this is the main one. This one has a full chocolate and gelato menu for those of you that need to satiate your sweet tooth for an additional cost, or are looking to get easy souvenirs for their non-cruise loved ones. MSC Seashore smart elevators give you a beautiful view of the atrium as you go down. The main atrium spans multiple floors and is wide open enough for them to host most of their events here. Surprisingly, the bar in the atrium, although always crowded, is also very prompt and fast. The stairs are MSC's signature Swarovski crystal stairs, and so they're very popular for photo ops. This is where they're gonna host huge events like the Sail Away Party or the Silent Disco. And nearby is the guest reception area if you need any help with your stay. Next up is the Emotions Immersive Gallery, which is where they'll post all the pictures that MSC's photographers have been taking throughout your cruising experience. The pictures come out great, but do keep in mind, you do have to pay an additional charge. Last but not least is the MSC Foundation Store, where you can buy merch to help fund MSC's conservation and sustainability efforts. And now we made it to the end of the video. This video was just a quick walk through the ship, but if you want a more in-depth look and review into what a week-long cruise is actually like aboard the MSC Seashore, click on the channel for the full vlog. That's where you can find more details on the types of foods that are available in the restaurants, all the different fun events that they host on board, and just our general overall thoughts. Are you planning an MSC cruise, or have you already booked? If you have any questions, please place them in the comments below and we'll try to get through as many as I can. Please consider subscribing as we are so close to our goal of 1,000 subs. Thank you again for watching, and I hope the rest of your day is as beautiful as you are. Bye.